How's everybody doing? For anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Lacie Rodriguez, and I love doing these lives on the Uniwigs site. Uniwigs is one of my favorite brands, and I've been working with them for years. I love that they have so many options. So they literally have something for just about everybody. And that's rare in an alternative hair company. Usually companies will, specialize in like one or two different options, but Uniwigs has a lot. So I have a ton of pieces to go over tonight. I'm here to answer all of your questions about toppers, wigs, like whatever tickles your fancy. And we can do some styling tutorials. Hi, Kath. How are you? Steph from Texas. What part of Texas? I used to live in Houston, and I also lived in Bryan, College Station area. Hello, Witty Fajita. By the way, if you want to change your display name, I'm pretty sure there's an option because I just learned how to do that. But if you like your cool, funny names, you can keep those too. So I'm going to dive right in because we have so many pieces, and I know that we always have lots of really good questions. So I'm excited to be here. If at any point you have a question, just stick it in the chat and I will try to answer them as I go. And I might have to come back to some, but yeah, that's what I'm here for. So first of all, if you're on, please tell me if you have tried a topper or a wig, or if you are a first timer here, if you're brand new. This is Suzette Morgan. I don't know what that fajita name is. Okay, Suzette, I hope I don't forget. I might still just call you fajita. That is hilarious. They're like default display names or something. I don't know, but they're always funny. So I'm glad you're here, Suzette. But everybody tell me kind of like what level you're on, and it gives me a good place to start. So if we have a lot of really like brand new beginners, we can start just going over basics. If you wear toppers or you're pretty knowledgeable about them, or you feel like you are, tell me, and then we can get into some deeper stuff. But this is my most favorite topic in the world, and I love having a place to talk about it all. So I'm just going to start with the piece I'm wearing because this is my newest Uniwigs piece. It's called the Vian. Before I get into that, though, I forgot to mention Happy Mother's Day, because Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday, and Uniwigs is having an epic Mother's Day sale. So make sure that you're checking that out. And they're going to help us out with putting up like product cards so you can click it and purchase if that's something that interests you. But make sure to take advantage of their Mother's Day sale. Okay. Do you all have Mother's Day plans? I am purposely not saying anything and hoping that my husband is going to actually plan something. We'll see. So this is the Vian topper. It is a silk top. So silk tops, if you don't know, have like a very realistic scalp. It's a really cool process, the way that they hide the knots where the hair is sewn on. And it just looks like skin when it's actually fabric, but you would never know. It just looks like that hair is growing right out of your scalp, especially if this kind of matches your skin tone a little bit, which I feel like everybody's head is a little lighter than the rest of their body normally, unless your part gets sunburned constantly like mine does. But so natural stuff. I know it does not dry wavy. This one dries straight. So that was the point I was going to get at next. A lot of Uniwigs toppers air dry wavy. This one doesn't. It air dries straight. I just did a review on this on YouTube and other platforms, but it is their Chinese hair. So if you like wavy hair, you're going to want to go with Burmese, and we'll get into that in a minute. If you like straight hair or something that you can just like blow out like this or curl it yourself, but you want it to just air dry straight, the Chinese hair is the way you want to go. How do you blend the front part? I think silk top is a bit thicker and hard to blend. Yes, it is. Also, hello, Andre Conte. So silk tops, because of the way they hide the knots, the caps are a little bit thicker. So I'm going to pull this up. There's a little bit thicker, higher profile. They sit flat on your head normally. They just are a little thicker. But as long as you've got a little tiny bit of hair here, in like natural, your bio hair along the hairline, you can usually blend it just fine. I don't even think you need a lot of hair. Just a little I'm going to go over a trick with how to make this look even more natural. Maybe I can try to demonstrate the difference, but I played around with this a lot the other day, and I really think I found the sweet spot to make it look the most natural that I could. Maddie at Roots. I'm a stylist. I have a lady who's wanting a topper. I was looking at the velour topper, but she wears her hair kind of feathered back. Would this be a good fit for her? It depends on her hair loss. So that's one of the most important things when I'm helping a client find the right topper for them. Sizing is crucial. If she has enough hair that the velour is not going to like be painful for her to clip into, or it's going to be really secure, then it probably would be fine. It's fully hand tied. So if she wears her hair like feathered back, as long as she has enough bio hair, because it's not a ton of hair, the velour topper is very tiny. I don't have that one, or I would show you, but I think that she should be fine as long as it fits her well. That's the most important part. The hair is so pretty. I know, right? It looks so good. Let me show you the back. Oh my gosh, I forgot my mic. Can you guys hear me okay? You know what? I'm going to put it in because, I can't now. Dang it. Why do I always forget things? It's okay. If I have to turn on the hair dryer, I just won't be able to talk when I do that. But let me show you the back. So it gives plenty of coverage, which is awesome if you're looking to add length with your topper. So this piece is quite a bit longer than my bio hair. You see, my bio hair ends like right here. So you can see it's quite a bit longer, but it has so much coverage. We can talk about density. We can get more into that later, but this doesn't look like a ton of hair because it's a silk top. That's a really important distinction. Silk tops they lay flatter, they hug your head better. They don't have as much like volume. They don't have like flyaways, really. Like these flyaways, they're all my bio hair. Silk tops don't have any return hairs. So it's just a sleeker texture, and it just kind of hugs your head better, slimmer profile than compared to something that's like lace or monotop. So keep that in mind. But despite the fact, sorry, can't talk. Despite the fact that it doesn't look like a lot of hair, it actually is more hair than it looks. And that is a good thing if you're trying to add length. You want enough density in the ends, and silk tops have great density through the ends if you want to add length with just a topper and not have to wear extensions with it, if that makes sense. So if you're adding length, if you're changing up your color a lot, this one matches my color decently well. My color is actually pretty dark underneath. But if you're wanting to switch up your color a lot, a silk top is also a great option because, again, it's going to cover so much of your bio hair. You just don't end up seeing much of it. So all really good use cases for a silk top. Cozy Carrot, hello from Cali. Hello. Will there be more colors, and can you do a side part? I don't know about the color thing. I know that the VN topper has 4 new colors, and the way that they made the colors and chose the colors is so that there would be, basically there's a blonde, there's an ash blonde and an ash brown, and a warm blonde and a warm brown. So that gives you like the perfect base. You can pick any of those 4 to custom color if it's not going to fit your color. But again, you can get away with a lot with a silk top. Like I could probably get away with a blonde if I wanted to, even though my hair is so dark, it just blends, just covers so much of your hair and they're dimensional colors. So you really can get away with a lot. And yes, you can do a side part. So you can part this. You've got like 4 inches. So you can definitely side part. You just have to style it that way. And I can show you in a little bit how to switch up the part. Okay. She struggles with hairline loss and density, but doesn't want it to feel like a wig. I know they're breathable, but she insists, LOL. Okay, so some of them are more breathable than others. I'll be honest, if she's really worried about it being breathable, a silk top might not be her best option because these are not as breathable. This is going to be the heavier, warmer option. It's beautiful, but it's not for everybody. And if they're worried about it feeling like it's too much or feeling too big, this is also a large cap. It's like 8 1/4 by 8.5 inches. So it gets clipping in way down here. So it's more like a half wig. If that's going to be too much for her, then I would go with something that's more breathable and lighter weight. And I'm going to talk about like closed lace toppers here in a minute. And that's probably where you want to be looking. Oh, wow, you're beautiful. Oh, thank you. Very sweet. Hola, ¿cuál es el código de la peluca que llevas? It's the one, oh, I read your comment in Spanish and then respond in English, sorry. Ahorita tienen como, se dice una tarjetita en la pantalla, se puede picar y ahí está, se llama Viane. Viene con el corte. Sí, I forgot to mention that. Ya venía así, con las capas así. Yo nomás lo peiné. Lo siento. Batallo mucho con el español, pero ahí voy. It did come with the face framing layers, so I just styled it. So pretty awesome the way they come with pre-cut layers. I promise you that makes a huge difference. If it's all one length in the front, and some toppers come like that, a lot of toppers still come like that, but when it's like that, it can feel so heavy and so overwhelming, and a lot of people just freak out. Just know that face framing layers make all the difference. I promise you. Can you imagine if this was all just like hanging in my face? It would be very heavy, but this is perfect. Okay, what color is the one you're wearing? Thank you for asking because I forgot to mention it. Wigs, if you remember this color, it's the Champagne Glow, I think that's what it's called. I got the viral glitter dumpling today. What is that? Me gusta mucho esa peluca. ¿Qué valor está? Depende del color y la largura. Ahorita dice como 543, más o menos. So, this one on the screen, they have it on the screen with the pricing, but it will change with color and length. So, depending on which ones you choose. Champagne Glow Brown. Thank you, Wigs. It's so nice to have you on here to answer questions because my brain is like, I don't know. It's been a long day. Let me show you the inside of this, and then we will move on to a different one so we can show you lots of different kinds. And I'm really anal about keeping clips closed. If I have one thing to teach the world, it is keep your clips closed at all times unless you're clipping them into your hair. I promise you, it's going to take better care of your topper and keep it from getting tangly and being a mess. But this is the silk top. Okay, so like I said, it's really not breathable. It's several layers of fabric, so you don't get as much airflow as you will some of these others I'm going to show you. This one does not have any clips or combs in the front, which kind of worried me when I first got it, but it's actually really secure. And worst case scenario, if you don't feel like it's secure, you could easily sew in a comb here. And I'm willing to bet Wigs would do that if you requested it with your order. They might do that for you. What is the lightest colors offered? I have a very blonde client looking for a topper. So if you check the listing, there's, I think it's called Ivory Cream Blonde or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's the lightest one in this specific topper. But every one of their toppers has like a different color range. So this one is its own color range, and then the other toppers have like a whole different one. So you'll just have to check the listing because each piece is different. Anyway, so this is the hand-tied area where you can part it. This is all wefting, which is just sewn on with a machine in strips, and that means that it's going to hug your head, and you're not going to have as much like volume out to the sides and in the back. It's just going to kind of lay flatter to your head, which cuts down on bulk, so it doesn't look like so wiggy, Okay, so that's the Vian. I'm going to put her back unless anyone has any specific questions, but I just want you to look at how buttery. This is high quality hair for Wigs. The other ones I'm going to show you, the Burmese hair is not this high quality. It's still great, but like if you want something that's not going to tangle, that's going to last a long time, that's going to be easy to style, I'm telling you, this Chinese hair is butter. Yes, you're welcome. Okay, shall we look at something that's a little more breathable? Your eyes are very intense. Oh, in a bad way? I'm sorry. Oh, that's funny. Do you want me to show you something breathable, or do you want me to show you the other kind of silk skin top that they have? Maybe we should go there and then go to breathable. Also, something that I recommend to everybody. Oh, you guys want to see breathable? Okay. I'm from India. How do I buy this product? They are linking them on the screen right now. They're all available on the Wigs website. So you just might want to pay attention to the name, and you can actually search it in the search bar. on their website. I'm going to show you the Aura really quickly. Okay, Suzette. Cindy, you have two. Which ones do you have? Lisa, you're a topper wearer. So this is a Burmese texture. This is the Aura, the Upgrade Aura topper. I've been using this now for like maybe a whole year. It's the leave-in conditioner from Kristen S. Weightless Shine leave-in conditioner. I love this stuff for detangling. And like mine get really staticky because it's very dry here in Utah where I live. So this helps so much to cut down on the static, keep like the hair moisturized, but also detangled because it is such a pain when they get all tangly. And the Burmese hair does tangle more easily, but also this one is long. This one's their 18-inch, which actually measures like 20 inches, I think. So, whoops. This one, let me show you underneath real quick. So this is the Upgrade Aura topper in the color Truffle Brown. So it's kind of just like a more solid medium brown. To me, it seems pretty neutral, but it looks very warm on their website. In the sun, it's going to be a little bit more red, but most of the time to me, it just looks like a neutral brown. But this is a skin top, so this is a little different than the Vian, which is reflected in the price, right? So this one is machine made, and it looks similar, but it has a comb here in the front. But this one is actually a little bit thinner. But the hair texture is their Burmese texture, which is a little different. I'll show you what it looks like when it air dries, but it's wavy. And it just has more like natural frizz. It's just going to be a little harder to smooth out. You can smooth it out, but it's just more work. So I can show you later how I smooth them out. But if you really wanted something that was like just super easy to style and you don't like to wear it wavy, then I would go with the Chinese hair. But this one, if you have more of a fluffy, natural texture, this one is beautiful for that, and it will match it really well. You can let it air dry wavy. You can wear it like that. So it's really versatile that way. Okay. Yo quiero ver una tipo carre más corto. Ahorita les voy a enseñar más cortos también. I'm from California. How to buy, what's the price? So the price for each topper that I'm talking about is on the screen right now. So you should be able to see that card. This one actually has my picture on it. If you click on that, it'll take you to the listing and you can check your price for your length and your color because it will vary by length and color. I brought a Uniwigs, but I don't feel consumers get the same wig quality that you as a presenter would get. I hear this myth all the time. I have worked with so many brands, and I promise you, they are not separating like higher quality from lower quality. They're made in a factory. Like it's an assembly line kind of process. That is a huge myth, but I hear it all the time. I promise you. I think the difference is that sometimes people like me, who I create content around hair and toppers and wigs, I think that we just know how to style it, and that makes a big difference. And that I know that I don't mean that to sound condescending in any way. I just think that we deal with hair a lot, and I've had a lot of clients that are like, I can never make mine look the way yours does. But I have tons of friends and clients that I have seen in person and seen their pieces in person, and they are the exact same quality. I promise. So I've heard that a lot though. Are there any additional duty fees when receiving from the mail person? Marie, it depends on where it's shipped to. Sometimes international shipping will have customs duties, but I would check with Uniwigs to see if they know about your country. I got an Airy Elegance wig last year, and the Burmese hair is a perfect match to my natural hair. I have been so happy with the quality. Oh my gosh, I love hearing that. See, this is what I mean. And I'm just going to get on a soapbox for 1 second because this is why it's so important to educate yourself and know what you're getting, because you will hear both extremely negative and extremely positive reviews on the exact same hairpiece. And what it really comes down to is, number one, what your expectations were, and number two, whether it's actually a good fit for you. So some people love the Burmese texture. They prefer it over that sleek one. Let me show you how it air dries. If this more closely matches your natural texture, you'll probably love it, and you'll know how to style it. You'll know how to deal with it. But somebody whose hair is always air dry, just pin straight, they're probably going to have a harder time with this unless they're really used to styling different textures of hair. So just keep that in mind. But it's a beautiful wave. I love styling it with waves sometimes. Like I'll put this one on here in a little bit, but it really is very versatile. So just something to keep in mind. Pick the texture that you're most comfortable with that matches the way you like to wear your hair the most, okay? You can come back and watch it later. Yes, there will be a replay on the website. Thank you. Looks cute on you. It looks like your real hair. It does, doesn't it? It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to show you back and then we'll show you some more breathable options, okay? Because this one's also not the most breathable. But this is actually a lower density, but the texture is so fluffy that it actually looks like more hair than it is. So also keep that in mind. It is a pretty low density one, but it's just got more body because of the texture. Yes, they don't have curly, but they do have like that wavy texture I just showed you. You don't see the info on the screen? You don't see the card that you can click? Can anybody else see that? Or is that a glitch or something going on? There should be a little card on the screen that you can click on and it should take you to that topper. So I'm actually located in Utah and I don't sell any of these pieces personally. So just so you know, I'm just like demoing them and I do my own independent consultations. And most of those I do virtually, and sometimes I do them in person, but I'm in Utah. You see the card? Okay, you guys see it. So it is there. It's at the bottom of the screen. Okay, this is the Aura topper. Let me show you something that's a little more breathable. Shall we? I have a friend who has like 6 of these, and she just alternates them. She has some of them she styles straight, some of them she styles in a ponytail, some of them wavy, and she just is obsessed with the Aura topper. So note to Uniwigs, don't ever discontinue it because she'll be really upset. Okay. If you're wanting something a little bit more like summer friendly, something that's not going to be too warm or too much hair, and you just want something really lightweight and breathable, let me suggest, if I can find it, because I have a lot of pieces on here. Hold up. The Airy Elegance. This is one of my favorites. We already had somebody mention this one. It is Burmese texture, so keep that in mind. However, I want to point out that Uniwigs is really good about doing custom orders. So if you can't find the kind of hair texture that you want, if it's not offered on the piece that you want, a lot of times Uniwigs can do like a pre-order for you and customize it. Okay. This is a closed lace topper. So there's 2 different kinds of the Airy Elegance. This can get confusing, so buckle up. There are 2 Airy Elegance toppers and 2 Breeze toppers. They are all lace, really high quality Swiss Luxe lace, okay? There is 1 Airy Elegance and 1 Breeze topper that are closed lace. That's what I'm showing you here, and then later I'll get to the lace front ones, okay? But I don't want to get you too confused. So closed lace, think of closed as in it has like a seam, okay? It's not a raw edge, it's closed. That's what this one is. Look at how much light passes through this. Definitely you're going to get some airflow here. So it's a lot more breathable. And what I love about the closed lace toppers, besides the fact that they are just super lightweight, super breathable, the caps are paper thin. So somebody was asking about the silk tops are a little bit harder to blend because the caps are thicker. Remember, these are so thin that they are really easy to blend for most people. But you do still need a little bit of hair along your hairline to make this one work. This is a 6.5 by 7 inch topper. So I consider this like a medium, which makes it really like almost universal. Most people can wear this topper comfortably and blend it and make it look natural. Okay, you guys see the discounts, good deal. Oh, is there an unlock button? I didn't realize that. Okay, good. Hopefully you can see the cards now. Okay, I'm just gonna sit this really close to my hairline. Like, do you see how that just disappears? It's wild. It's so wild. I'm telling you, these closed lace toppers are the best blend. in my opinion, for really any topper. Like if you want it to look natural, that transition between your bio hair and the topper, closed lace is where it's at. Somebody tell me if you agree with me on this, if you've tried the closed lace and know what I'm talking about. Sometimes people struggle with this, but I promise you, it's like if you troubleshoot it and you figure it out, you will probably never go back. Because there's just something about like, I don't have words for it. It's incredible, right, Kath? Yes, this is mousse brown. So mousse brown is kind of like a neutral, warm, medium brown, and it's got some like kind of chunkier highlights and money pieces, but it's such a pretty color. This is like one of my most favorites. So the closed lace, like I said, you sit it really close behind your hairline and then get a little bit of lift. This is my number one tip. If you're having a hard time blending this, so beautiful, right? If you're having a hard time blending this, I want you to hold it down right at the part. Use a comb to brush out all your little baby hairs up and over, okay? A lot of times these hairs will get like stuck under the cap, and I'll see people like put it on like this, and then they're like, oh, it just kind of looks weird. Like it's not really blending that great. Which actually it still doesn't look bad. It's hard to make these look bad. However, if you'd pull your bio hair out, up and over, okay? Up and over, like a blooming flower. I just like is unmatched, right? Now, people worry because these do have exposed knots. So when you're really, really up close, I don't know if you can see that, but there are knots there, but they are so tiny that they are practically invisible, okay? And my one thing the hill I will die on when it comes to blending toppers is, in my opinion, if you are really stressed about how natural it's gonna look, everybody thinks to go for the silk top, which is not a bad option. But I think the transition is a much better indicator of whether it's a topper or not. Or like it's easier to spot a topper if the transition does not look natural. If this doesn't look perfect, nobody notices that. It's more like an illusion. People are focusing, if they can see this, see all these little baby hairs, like what is more natural than that? They will never notice this. I promise you. I've been wearing toppers for almost 10 years at this point, and never have I ever had anybody comment on this or even look at me weird. It's always this. If I don't make this blend look good, that's where people notice. So in my opinion, if you're really stressed about how natural it's going to look, I would say go with a closed lace almost every time. That VN topper is gorgeous. Those silk tops are beautiful. But to me, this is the most natural. I don't know. You guys like weigh in here and tell me what you think. I am new to toppers and I've struggled with picking the color. Could you compare truffle brown and mousse brown? Absolutely, Debbie. Give me 1 second and I will do that. The transition looks more natural, but what about the part line? Can you see the knots in the grid? Yes. So yeah, we just covered that. But I'm telling you, like, especially the other trick is if you get a little bit of just like volume right here at the roots, if I were to like sleek this really down, you might see the knots a little bit more. But once you have just like the tiniest amount of natural volume here at the root, it's almost like it overshadows that part line and you end up just like not even seeing it. Does that make sense? I used to color the knots with makeup, like a concealer. And I've learned over time, I feel like that just highlights them. And to me, I'd rather my part just disappear than be starkly light because it just draws the eye to it. And I feel like that almost makes it more obvious. So to me, this is the most natural way to do it. But everybody has their own opinion. If you liked the silk top better, go with the silk top. Yes, I'll show you the back. Are there hair toppers with that blunt bang cut? No parting. Probably not, but you can always have a stylist cut it like that for you. So all of these that I've showed you so far can all have bangs cut into them. Let me show you the back. Hi, Nina. How are you? Nina's in my group. I'm so happy you're on tonight. Okay, so this is the back. This one has a lot less hair on it, so it's not going to have quite as much coverage. I still wear it longer than my bio hair, but I probably wouldn't try to get away with too much of a difference in length. Because if I really swish my head too much, you might I don't know. You guys can tell me if you can see it. I guess I just don't care enough and I still wear it like this. But if I really, really was nervous, I would cut it to match exactly the length of my bio hair. I think I'm pretty close though. Oh yeah, that is mine. Oh, look at that. My bio hair's grown. Actually, I think it's the right length. What can you use to disguise the knots? So like I said, I personally feel like it actually highlights them even more. But if you want to try it, I've used just like a liquid concealer or sometimes just like a powder foundation. You just want to make sure that it's matching your skin tone. And it's supposed to make the knots look like the color of your skin so that they're not as visible. It's just hard to find like those kinds of, that makeup a lot of times oxidizes and it turns kind of orange. So I don't know, you could play around with different makeup. Most of the time I just don't even bother because I just think that this looks more natural because once you put makeup on this, it's going to lighten it and it's going to call attention to it and it's going to draw the eye. How is Chinese hair compared to Burmese? So it's just really the way it air dries. This is the Chinese hair, and this is literally how it air dries. I added a few curls to it, but I didn't have to blow dry it at all. It air dried almost completely straight, and then I just curled it. The Burmese hair air dries wavy like this. That's what this one is as well, is Burmese. So they air dry like this. You can wear it like this. It's beautiful like this, or you can blow it out and curl it or style it. And it just takes more effort. Where did mine go? The Aura Topper. Oh, this is not the Aura Topper, but this is another one that I blew out. So you can smooth the Burmese hair out. Just know that if it's like humid or it rains, it's going to get frizzy. So the Chinese hair doesn't. The Chinese hair is a lot sleeker. Wow, I'm impressed. I cannot tell it's not your hair. Very beautiful hair is all I saw. Thank you. Yes, Maddie, thank you. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? This is a really easy pop on and go option. It's a really great one for beginners too, I think, because it's not a ton of hair, but it's still a big enough cap that you're clipping in kind of lower on your head instead of like right here through the middle, which for a lot of us is really tender and not ideal. That's one thing when you're thinking about what size to get. You're kind of writing this line of if you go too small, it is probably going to be uncomfortable. It can cause more damage if you're not careful, especially if your bio hair is actually thinning through the crown. You really don't want to clip into the thinnest areas. It also requires that your color match be really, really good because you're going to be seeing a lot more of your bio hair. And you also want your texture to match pretty well. If you don't want to deal with all of that, I would say go a little bit bigger in your cap. You're going to get more coverage and you don't have to match it perfectly like you do with a small one. That's why this is a really good option because I call it a medium. And it's just kind of in that like almost universal size range where most of us can wear it even if our hair is thinning. It's comfortable. To me, it hasn't caused any more damage. If your hair is thinner than mine or it's more fragile, it could potentially, and then you still might want to go a little larger. But if you go larger, just remember that's usually going to be more hair and it's going to feel more like a wig than a smaller one, if that makes sense. I wear all kinds except for the small ones because I can't wear those, but they all have their place. So love to see a type with wave. Yes, the waves are so pretty. They really are. Oh, you're so pretty. Thank you. Hello from Ireland, Kate. I need a topper that clips near the ears. Is that possible? I lost the whole top from radiation. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. But yes, let me show you a good one. Does the Halo Wear set scanners off at the airport? No. Everybody worries about the airport and I get it. But no, I have gone through so many airport securities. I've never had a problem. I've talked to TSA and they say that they are very aware that most women nowadays have metal in their hair. And so a lot of times if it does, like it doesn't ever set it off, but if they do see like it's marking their hair, they almost always just let it go. I've never heard of anybody being stopped. So I think you'll be fine. Really quickly, I'm going to get to the larger cap for you. But then first I'm going to compare mousse brown and truffle brown because somebody asked and I promised I would do that. So this is the mousse brown that I just had on. So like I said, it's kind of like a medium, neutral to warm, dimensional brown. It's got some highlights. They're kind of chunkier. They're more of like a golden blonde in here. they're not really white ashy highlights. They're warmer. Okay. That's the moose brown. And then this is the truffle brown, which is more of a solid color. It doesn't have highlights in it. And it's a solid medium brown. Again, I would say it's more of like a neutral, but it can lean a little bit warm. It can turn a little like there's more red in this in the sun. Okay. So moose brown is dimensional. Truffle brown is solid and darker overall. So I hope that helps. I do not know how to take the skin filter off. I promise you, it's like the default on here. And I know I look airbrushed. I promise I have texture, but I don't know how to take it off. It's like the default in this app I have to use. So I'm so sorry. But thank you for mentioning the halo wire too. I'm going to show you how that works here in a minute. First, I want to show the large cap for somebody who really needs to clip in closer to their ears. This is the Breeze Topper. So it's basically the clone of the Airy Elegance, the closed lace. Remember, this is closed. It has a seam, but it's the larger version of it. So it's like 2 inches larger all the way around. It's going to give you significantly more hair because the cap is larger. But keep in mind the density is actually the same, which is confusing, but it's because this is a larger cap, so it has more surface area. But as far as how many hairs are sewn on per inch, it's the same as the Airy Elegance, okay? Lace front versus closed lace topper, which would be more natural. Dora Lee, that's going to be our next topic, okay? I promise I'll get to that as soon as I do this larger cap. I prefer lace and mono tops. S. Marie, I think that a lot of people are at that point now. Okay, so this one is just above my ears. It is 8.5 by 9 inches. So it's 8.5 inches side to side, okay? Is there any red in the moose brown? I wouldn't say there's red, but the blonde is more yellow. So it's still warm toned, but I would say the brown is pretty neutral. Like I don't see red in it really. I actually see more red in the truffle brown, which is the one I have on right now. So same excellent transition here. Sometimes you just have to play around with it until you get your sweet spot where you're blending it and it look at that. Isn't that crazy? So play around with it until you get the right blend and it just looks really uber natural. These highlights are my own highlights. So the truffle brown does not have these highlights. This is my bio hair in the front, which is kind of cool because again, you can really play around with colors, especially with a larger cap like this. Because again, it's got a ton of coverage and I'm really only seeing my bio hair like here in the front. And it just looks like I have highlights around my face. It's pretty cool. Will the wind blow and show your natural hair for Airy Elegance coverage? Celine, you will see a little bit of your natural hair in the back, which is why I was like, you probably want to match your color a little closer than like something like this one that has more hair. But it's not crazy. It's still going to look natural as long as your color and your length are similar. Okay. What is your favorite length and why? That's a great question. It depends on the day and the topper. I never have a cut and dry answer for anything, I swear. I actually love this length. This is the 14 inch, but in the Breeze Topper, it actually measures almost 16 inches. I love this because I love volume. Like you can get some really awesome volume with this, okay? If you want, you don't have to. You can smooth it down, you can style it flatter, but I love having like volume and a ton of movement. And this length is really good for that. The longer lengths though are so pretty and they also have my heart. So it just depends on the day and how long I want to wear them. But I have a lot of, so I vacillate between the 14 and 16 inches. And that Vian topper is actually 17 inches. So, but again, the Uniwigs lengths measure a little bit longer than what they say. So if you're measuring from the root to the tips, you usually can add on an inch or two. And that's usually how long they sit. But this is the Breeze closed lace. Have you ever bought a topper you loved and hated? Honestly, most toppers go through both of those feelings for me. Like every time I get a new topper, and at this point I have tried like, I don't even know, maybe I'm probably getting close to 100 at this point. And every time I get a new one, I really do have to play with it until I can figure it out. I remember when I got my very first closed lace topper, I remember being like, oh my gosh, I know this can work, but I was really struggling. It's because I wasn't used to it. It was a different cap for me. I'd never tried it before. And I really struggled to make the blend look natural. And I just was having a hard time. I finally realized it was because the roots did not match my roots. And that's what was really throwing it off. So when you are color matching your root color is the most important part to match. So once I had the roots dyed, then it was magic. And I was like, oh my gosh, this blends so well. And I'm not talking about this one in particular. I'm talking about a different one. But so I go through that a lot with a new topper. Sometimes I hate it. And there are some days where I can put on my most favorite topper. And sometimes it's like having a bad hair day. It's just not working. Like one day I was putting on the Airy Elegance, which you saw like how perfectly that blended. And one day I just couldn't get it to blend. And I figured out that I had styled it and the lace was kind of popping up and I just couldn't get it to blend. So I got out like a hot comb and I just put it on there for a second and heated it up and then pushed down the lace. And then it was fine. So there's almost always a way to troubleshoot it. I promise. I think people give up on toppers way too quickly because they get so frustrated and because there's such a lack of education out there and everyone's situation is different. Everyone's skill level is different when it comes to hair. So hang in there. If you are struggling, know that that's real and normal. And there's almost always a way to troubleshoot and work through it. Okay. So what's the bigger one called? This is the Breeze topper. So this is the closed lace one. And then I'm going to show you the lace front ones here in a minute. But this is the one where you blend your own hair with it. So you want to pull out a little bit in the front, but it is clipping, just to show you, it's clipping in right here. So it is close to my ears and everyone's head sizes will be different. If you need something larger than that, I would talk to Uniwigs. They have the Savannah, which is a little bit larger. It's a 9-inch, but it's a lot heavier than this one. So, but this one I still think works for most people. And if not, you might want to try a lace front, and I'll show you that one here in just a second. Yes, these are all human hair. So all the pieces I have to show you tonight are all human hair. None of them are synthetic. Sorry, I get super thirsty. Let me show you the back of this one, and then I'll show you the lace fronts. Yeah. Later, if you're going to stay on, I'm going to do a glue tutorial and some styling stuff. But first, I just want to kind of go through all the different pieces so you have an idea. So this is the back of the Breeze. And you can see it's just got like a lot more coverage. Like I said, you can get more, you could do like more layers with this one because it's just got more hair to it. They make for such a cute ponytail. So it's such a cute length for that too. Like look at the most perfect little, I love that ponytail. I've never had a nice ponytail without a topper. So another great one. Just keep in mind, this is significantly more hair than the Airy Elegance. So I've had some people order this first and then be like, oh my gosh, it's way too much hair for me. And then they get the Airy Elegance and they're like, oh, this one's a lot more doable. So as long as you have the right expectations going into it, you can wear whichever one is comfortable to you. Okay. There's not like, toppers are not like there's not a hard set or hard and fast rules about your hair loss is this amount, and so you have to wear this size. It's more like you just don't want to go too small. So anybody can get away with wearing a larger one. You just have to expect there's going to be more hair. Okay. All right. I also forgot to mention that these closed lace ones do not have any clips or combs in the front, and you cannot sew them on. So just keep that in mind. I'll show you a halo wire here in a second that can help keep it more secure if you need it. But for me, I don't need anything here. And you don't want to sew anything into this lace because it is super fragile and delicate. And if you're sewing directly into the lace, it will probably rip, and you don't want that. Okay. So they do have a halo wire that's removable, and it comes with all their toppers. So I'll show you that here in a minute, but that's another great option if you need a little bit more security, or if you're having a hard time with those front side clips. Sometimes maybe BNN079, I don't know what your real name is, but you're the one who had radiation, right? So if you can't clip into right here, try the halo wire. It can really be helpful. Which Chinese option do you recommend? I currently have Breeze, but gets really frizzy. Yeah, so this is also that Burmese hair. Chinese hair, the Vian topper is lovely if you're looking for a silk top. They also offer it in the Courtney. So I can show you the Courtney here in a minute. First, I'm going to show you some lace fronts, and then I'll show you the Courtney, okay? But that one also has a Chinese hair option. Okay, remember the Airy Elegance. I'm going to show you the lace front version of that. So closed lace, remember, means that it has a seam. So it's not a raw edge. You can tell because it's perfectly round, a manufactured edge there. And that's because it's supposed to be blended with your bio hair. You're going to want to use this in the front of that one to make it look natural. You're welcome. Now, anything with a lace front like this, sorry, I've got some glue residue on here because I glue this one down a lot. But see this raw edge of the lace? I cut this in a jagged shape, and that's because I glue this one a lot. And when you cut it in a jagged shape like this, it is invisible on your skin. So I'm going to glue this one on later so I can show you how I do that and how I do the most comfortable and the cutest updos with a glued down lace front. But this is best for somebody who, again, if you're comfortable with gluing down, that will take some practice, but anybody can do it. If your hairline is receding, so if you have like frontal fibrosing alopecia and your hairline is moving back and you really want to lower your hairline, a lace front is going to do that for you. And you don't have to blend any of your bio hair with it. Also, if you are like, sometimes women are going gray or they just don't want to color their hair anymore, and so they're letting it grow out. And sometimes it won't match their topper, the roots won't. That's another instance where a lace front might be a good option because, again, you don't have to see any of your own hairline. On TikTok, there's fake stores using your videos. Why? Because they're crappy companies and they're scammers. And I can't even tell you how much time I have wasted trying to go after them, and it does no good. There's a lot of issues when it comes to like copyright infringement with foreign companies. It's just like nobody will do anything if they're not in the States, and a lot of them are overseas. So I'm sorry, I can't get away from it. I've tried reporting. I've spent so much time emailing, reporting. It doesn't do any good. So I've just given up. If it's not on my page, if it's not on my own profile, skip it. If it's too good to be true, if it's cheaper than Uniwig's prices, it's a scam. I can almost guarantee you. I guess that's a very general statement, but if it has my face on it and it's cheaper than Uniwig's, it's a scam, I promise. Okay, so this one is going to recreate a hairline for you. Again, it's still going to have the knots visible just like the other Airy Elegance. And this lace is not going to sit flat on its own, okay? It's just different. It doesn't have that seam. And so some people do cut this all the way back and blend it with their bio hair, but if you're going to do that, then just get a closed lace. It's going to be easier. But I'm going to show you how to glue this down. Once it's glued down, it's going to be very flat and invisible on your skin. People do not believe me, but I promise you this lace, it's dirty right now because I've just glued it down so many times. But I promise you, I'll show you on the other one. The lace really is invisible on your skin. What can be visible sometimes are the knots. So just be aware of that. And there are ways to deal with that as well. So what's lovely about being able to glue down a topper is that you don't have to rely on these front clips, which usually are the ones that get the brunt of the weight of the topper. So that's why I love to use a glued down topper for like a high updo or like a messy bun or something, a top knot. And I can show you that later, but I'm not going to glue it on yet because then I won't be able to show you the other ones. So we're going to save this one, but I know somebody was asking the difference between a closed lace and a lace front. Both the Airy Elegance and the Breeze have both versions. So make sure you're paying attention to which is which. Lace front, think raw lace like this to be glued down. Closed lace has a seam, and that's meant to be blended with your bio hair, no glue, okay? I'm going to show you now a halo wire because it's so lovely if you don't want to glue it. Sometimes you can get away with just the halo wire, or if the clips are bothering you, try the halo wire, or if it's not sitting very flat, try the halo wire. So this is what it is. This is the Breeze. This is the Breeze lace front. So remember I showed you the closed lace one. This is the lace front one. So again, raw edge here. I actually had bangs cut into this one, so I'll show you one with bangs. It didn't come with it though, so keep that in mind. My stylist just does whatever I ask her to. And I love having one with bangs, it's fun. Do you wash your new toppers before wearing? Not always. It kind of depends on the topper and what style I'm going for. Keep in mind that when they come to you, they're almost always like steamed straight. And if you try to curl it without washing it, it's not going to hold a curl. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. If you want it to hold a style, I would suggest washing it first, but keep in mind the texture will probably change, especially if it's Burmese hair, it will change drastically. And the first time I wash it, I don't use shampoo. So I only use shampoo about every other wash. In between those washes, I just get it wet, rinse it really good, use conditioner, rinse that out, and I'm done. So you can get a lot out with just water. And remember that shampoo is what dries these out faster than anything. So I try not to use it very often. So halo wire, these are removable and these come with just about all their toppers as far as I know. They have toppers come with these little loops sewn in. You see these little fabric loops? So they're sewn in here in the corners. And then this halo wire comes in the package and you can put it on. It has like these little, they have like little bra hooks. There we go. And so you can put it on and then you can take it off. It's up to you. And I wear it both ways. So what's nice is you can try it. Some people love these, some people hate them. It really just depends on your preference. So let me show you how you put it on, okay? I've had a lot of hair loss and it looks like my hair is thick, but I had to cut the sides of my hair a lot shorter. That is where I was losing the most hair. What can I use to cover? It's hard for me to say without like seeing exactly what you're talking about. But if it's only on the sides, depending on how much hair you have, if you're only wanting to fill in on the sides, I would maybe just do some extensions. But you could also do a topper. If you want to do a topper, you absolutely could, as long as you have enough hair to clip into. So just kind of guess with your measurements of how large the cap is. The first measurement is the width. So if it's 8 inches, you can kind of measure like 8 inches and your clips are probably going to be a little bit closer together, maybe like 7 inches apart. You can kind of guess where that's going to be. And just make sure you have enough hair to clip into that. You're enjoying. I'm so glad. Hopeful Berry. Thank you so much. Oh, Emma from Singapore. Thank you so much for being on. And what a sweet comment. Okay. So I have the halo wire on. I pulled my hair up because this is going to go around the nape of my neck. Okay. So you're going to face it away from you. When you first get this, it's going to be big. So you want to like pull on the string here. Sorry. I don't know if you can see this. When you put the halo wire on the first time, you're going to pull on this string and tighten it so that it fits your head. And then you can kind of clamp this little bead so it won't move. And that way it'll just always fit you. So you're going to face it away from you. I flip this over so that the lace, the underside of the lace is touching my forehead. And then this is like a stretchy kind of a silicone band. So it's going to go around the nape of my neck. And I take my hair back out and it goes right over that band. And then I can just flip this back. Again, this is going to sit in front of your hairline. So you're not pulling out any of your hair in the front. And then I can clip it on. Now you can sometimes go without clipping those front clips if you're using the halo wire. And a lot of times it'll be secure enough. For me, it still doesn't sit perfectly flat. Let me clip it in and see if I can get it to sit a little flatter. It's still not going to sit perfectly flat on me. The Airy Elegance might be a little better. But that's one of the reasons I had bangs cut into this, because if I don't want to glue it down, I really don't have to, and nobody's going to notice if I've got a little bang here. But if I commit to just gluing it down when I wear it, I definitely could do without the bangs. But I kind of just love the bangs too. Okay, so this is the Breeze. This is air-dried Burmese hair. So this is the lace front Breeze. And again, I had the bangs cut into it myself. But it's so cute. It has such a pretty wave. I wore this to death when I was in Mexico. at the beach, and it was like really fluffy. So keep that in mind. If you are somewhere where there's a lot of humidity or something like that, just know that's the natural texture of it. I ordered the Courtney and Dusty Ash for an upcoming wedding. It will be my first topper, planning on an updo because I have never had enough hair to do that without thin spots on the side. An updo should be possible, correct? Absolutely. Yes, especially for a wedding. I normally use a lace front that's glued down for most of my updos, but we can do like a simple little updo when I show you the Courtney to give you some ideas, and still keep it comfortable. I forgot I was going to show you. You can still pull out your hair from underneath this band, kind of on the sides, so that it just really hides that band beautifully. So yeah, we'll do a little simple updo for you. How fun. Congratulations. I'm glad that you have one for the wedding. How fun. Beth, I have a question about hair topper. Which shampoo should I use for washing my topper? Because I have Upgrade Aura and I washed her 2 or 3 times with my shampoo. Overall, it looks fine, but after some times when I wear the hair, it looks stringy. Okay. With the Burmese hair, I like to use a shampoo and conditioner that are a little heavier. So definitely use something that's moisturizing or hydrating. And even like silicones can be really good for it because it will weigh it down and kind of coat the hair so that it handles the frizz better. If you're using any kind of volumizing, anything like that, it's going to be a lot fluffier. The texture is going to be a lot harder to deal with. So I use totally separate products on my bio hair and my topper hair because it's a different texture and it has different needs, but always something that's moisturizing and hydrating. And that should really help with the texture and make styling a lot easier. Okay. You can go bald headed and I still date you for real. Okay. But so when I brush them, it looks okay. I wear scarves on my head. So when I take off, then it looks like that. I hope I could explain my question. Thank you. You just mean like, I wonder if what you're talking about is where it clumps together. And because you said it looks stringy, I want to show an example of what that looks like because I think I know what you're saying. For instance, like this one, is it doing this where it kind of like clumps together? Beth, you'll have to clarify for me. This is super common. All my toppers do this, but the Burmese ones especially for some reason do this. And again, it's just a matter of keeping it like they tangle more and they're going to stick together more like that. But using something really moisturizing is going to help. You can also use like a hair oil. This weightless leave-in conditioner can also help. Just keep it from tangling so much and like clumping together and sticking together and then looking stringy. So I think if that's what you're saying, I just have to brush them more often. It's just how it is. But moisturizing, hydrating, heavy products for sure. You look really pretty with the halo one on. If you get the halo, does the wire in the back ever slide upward and my hair is long on top? Thank you so much. Sweet compliment. Every once in a while it does throughout the day, but it's really just as easy as like one of these. So you'll just see me out and about and like I have a very flat head. So I really don't have much of an occipital bone at all. So anything that goes around the nape of my neck is going to ride up throughout the day. And I can literally just do this with my finger and pull it back down. As long as you get the tension right, play around with the tension of the halo wire. If it's too tight, it's going to slide up. If it's not tight enough, it's also going to move around a lot. So as long as you get the tension right, I really don't have a problem with it. And you don't see it. If your hair is long on top, the only time you would see it is if the topper was a super low density and it was riding up and then it was like maybe pushing. Let me see if I can illustrate this. If you had a very light density topper on and then this was rolling up and it might push the hair out a little bit. I don't know if that's even showing what I mean. But once again, you pull it down and it's fine. So if your topper has enough hair on it though, you won't see that. What are the prices on toppers? So these ones are on the screen. There should be like little cards you can click. It'll depend on the topper and the length and the color. How do you know if it's fit your head, if you're getting the bigger base, and how do you measure your head to get the exact size? Sarah, there really isn't. It's not like a perfect science. So most people can get away with a range of sizes. Okay, it's not like a wig. A wig really has to fit your head snug, especially a glueless wig. But toppers, you can get away with a lot of different sizes. So how to measure though, let me just show you how you measure what the cap measurements look like. And that can help you make an educated guess when you are looking for something for yourself online. So if I were to just kind of make a guess as to what size topper I need, I would look at my hair loss. I'd probably take a picture or have somebody help me. I would look at my hair loss through the crown. That's where mine is the thinnest. So look at your thin areas. I like to just kind of measure here, and I kind of just go from like, you can kind of see where this is the thinnest, and then it gradually starts to thicken up as I go outwards, right? So kind of a rough estimate. Usually when I look at myself or take a picture and I'm kind of guessing, I usually feel like the thinnest part of my hair is about 5 inches across the top, okay? To me, the clips are usually going to fit a little bit further in. So clips on a 5-inch topper are usually going to be at like the 4-inch mark. That's going to be probably too small, right? If I go to 6 inches, then I can guess that they might clip in at 5. And to me, just like looking at my hair, that feels like a better spot. So I personally have just found that anything under about 6 inches is just not as comfortable. I can wear them, but if that was the only topper I had and I wore it every day, I'm a lot more likely to get damage. So I usually stick with a 6-inch topper or larger most of the time. And as far as front to back, same thing. So that's the first measurement on the topper. And then the second one goes from your hairline back. Now this is interesting because I have like a really thin spot right through here. I don't normally use the clips in the middle. I will use the side ones though, and I have more hair over here. So I don't always use all the clips. Sometimes I leave some of them undone. Sometimes I alternate them. And I don't need the cap. I don't need the cap to come completely below that thin area as long as I can clip into the sides. And even if, like, let's say the cap stopped like right here, as long as I can clip in over here and over here, the hair is going to cover that thin spot anyway. Does that make sense? So the cap does not have to cover all of everything. As long as the hair covers it, you should be fine. But that's kind of like a general way to measure. And when thinking about the measurements on a cap, you have to account for the curvature, which some companies don't. So sometimes you don't exactly know what you're getting, but I like to put them upside down on a mannequin head and then measure from the widest point to the widest point. This is exactly 8 inches from side to side. You can't probably read that, and then from front to back, it's also, it's a little bit bigger from front to back, depending on where you cut the lace. But so this is like, it's supposed to be 8.5 by 9 because it does have a little bit of stretch to it. But that's just like a good way about like that. So again, it's not a perfect science, but you can usually get a roundabout measurement. Okay. Last one, I think. I'm trying to remember if we've gone over all of these or most of them. Let me show you the Courtney. Somebody was asking about the Courtney, and I want to show maybe an idea for like a little updo with it. And then we can do some more styling or see any other pieces you want to see. I also have the Savannah. My goodness, I'm so thirsty. My hair is as thin as your hair. I lost a lot of hair the last 3 years. I need a topper, but where I live, they don't have any. I know that can be really frustrating and really scary to order online. I work with clients every single day who are terrified of this process. So trust me, I get it, but I'm also going to hold your hand when I say this. You have so many more options online. Anybody who's counting on finding a place near them that they can buy a topper, most of the time are going to be disappointed because most brick and mortar stores only have a couple of options, and they're much pricier because every brick and mortar store has more overhead than an online store. They're pricier, they have fewer options, and a lot of times a lot of times the people in the stores don't even really know that much about toppers. Sometimes they're even stylists and they a lot of times still don't know that much. They might know a little bit about what they have, but they don't know the other options that are out there. So just take heart, because I know that it's frustrating, but I promise you, you have better options online. Like 99 times out of 100, you're going to be happier getting a piece online that's a better fit for you, that is what you need, than going into a shop that might have some there. Chances are they might not have what you need, okay? I hope that that helps you feel a little bit better about that decision. The best thing you can do is educate yourself. So I'm glad that you're here tonight. It's the best thing you can do, okay? Oh, yeah, Lisa, did that hit for you? Because I know everybody wants to go to somebody in person, but I'm telling you, in fact, I have like a membership group, and a lady in there, we have a whole course about hair toppers, and she posted about how she went to this sale, to this brick and mortar store, this wig shop. She went to their Black Friday sale in person, and she was so disappointed because she was like, I knew 10 times more than the shop owner knew. She's like, it was actually frustrating because they really do. A lot of times, this is not the company's bread and butter. Like toppers are usually an add-on option for a lot of companies. It's like they sell almost exclusively wigs, but they add toppers, or they sell almost exclusively extensions, but then they add toppers. There are a lot of like topper focused companies online. They're just not big enough yet to have a lot of brick and mortar stores. Okay. So just know you have lots of options. Okay. This is the Courtney. My Courtney is old. Okay. She's old. She's going on like 4 years, I think. So I've had to doctor her up a little bit. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but sometimes I will literally use Sharpie markers if the cap is showing a little too much for me, and I'll show you what that looks like. So how often are you on? I'm usually on here every other month. So that's usually how often I come on here. But this is a mono top, and I'm going to show you, it's a little bit higher density. It's a 7 by 8 inch topper. So it's 7 inches across, 8 inches front to back. They have both the Burmese and the Chinese hair texture option in this topper. So you've got options here. You can get the fluffy, wavy one, the Burmese, or the straighter one with the Chinese hair. But this is a mono top, which is kind of similar to a lace top, but it is a little bit, it's more durable actually, but the holes are not as large as the lace. And so there's not quite as much, it's very minimal. I don't think you'd really notice the difference, but when it comes to breathability, it's like just a step down from the lace, okay? It does have this PU strip around the edge, which is what I colored with marker, because sometimes it can be a little bit more visible than like the closed lace ones that I really love. But I do love this topper. And I don't know what it is, but it's the distribution of density that just gives it such a pretty style. And I think it looks so natural. And the reason this one was such a mess when I got on is because I wore this last night. And I was visiting some friends, and it was raining. So it got kind of fluffy. But I have had 2 of these toppers now, and I just love them. So it's another great, I had like in my Facebook group, women were going crazy over this one a couple years ago when it came out. So again, it's got a lot of wefting. It doesn't have as much hand-tied area. So even though it's more hair, it doesn't have as much like poof or fluff at the top. You can style it with more body because it's got that Burmese texture. This one does anyway. So it can, for some people, feel like a lot of hair, but I just kind of really love it. So also has like those knots. They're not going to be as hidden as like on a silk topper, but also as long as you get some lift here in your bio hair, you're going to be good. It's going to cover that transition and look super natural. I've learned so much, Lisa. I'm so happy. That warms my heart. It's my like number one goal. I just love to educate about this. Okay, do you think wispy bangs or curtain bangs can be cut into the Airy Elegance? Yes to both. Yes. The Airy Elegance has a good like 3 or 4 inches of hand-tied hairline. You can just redirect that hair forward and have any kind of bang cut into it you want to. If a client has a side bang, how do you blend the hairline? Just pretty much exactly the same. If they want to wear their bang down like this, then you just do that. And like, if you have the bang is covering more of the rim, then you don't have to worry so much about the blend. So that's one thing too. If you're stressed about this blend, when I say the blend, I'm talking about the transition from your bio hair to the topper hair and like this space from here to here. Okay. If you're struggling with it, you're stressed about it, and you're open to the idea of bangs, have bangs cut into it, because I promise you it'll make you feel more comfortable. You won't have to stress about blending anything because it'll just be covered. So if you're a stylist, that's a really easy way to help your clients kind of tiptoe into this, is you just would redirect this hair. You'd want to get it wet. Okay. Redirect it forward, cut whatever bang you want. If it's a side bang, it's going to cover again. It's just going to cover most of it. And you could, just play around with it. Like, that's the best advice I can give you. I'm going to show you some other blending tricks here in a second. In case you like don't have enough hair to do this like up and over, or you're just struggling. I'll show you one of my favorite tricks. Yes, this is Burmese hair. I got Burmese in monotop because of length and color I needed and my own hair texture. It looks so great even after the rain. I love it. Warm basil. Yes, even after the rain. Like I said, if it matches your hair texture, you might love the Burmese. There's a lot of clients I have that just love it because it matches their hair texture so well. Sometimes you get something that's too sleek and it just doesn't feel like you, and it doesn't blend as well with your bio hair. And in that case, you might love it. If your bio hair is stick straight and you like your hair to be more styled that way, then you're probably going to hate the Burmese hair. It's just, you're going to fight the texture all the time. So it makes sense to go with the texture that fits your bio hair the best, or the way you style your hair all the time. I also have women who have this kind of texture, this like wavy texture, but they hate it and they want to wear it straight all the time, or at least like a blown out look like this where they have to smooth it out first. So they still would prefer the Chinese hair. So it's just a personal preference. I bought the 7x8 Upgrade Courtney monotop and it seems too big. What is smaller? Similar but smaller. I would go with the Airy Elegance. Honestly, the closed lace one. That's what I would do. It's a little smaller, it's a lower density, and it's actually a little easier to blend. So I think that would be the best alternative. Thank you for your reply. It's very informative. I stumbled upon your live video. You look so pretty in all the toppers you wear. Thank you so much. Shaya Beta. Thank you. That's sweet of you to say. Feral Cat Sanctuary. These names. Me too. I've learned so much. I'm so happy you've learned so much. Okay, let's do a fun little updo, shall we? I can't remember your name, but you who have the Courtney in the Dusty Ash Brown, you're going to a wedding. If you're still on, give me an idea for some kind of an updo. Now I'll tell you my theory on updos. Oh, warm basil. Okay. Yeah. Tell me if you have any ideas, any inspo. Yes, I'll show the new Vian here in just a minute. We actually started with that one, but I'll show you it again. When it comes to updos, you can technically pull up pretty much any topper into a ponytail and probably make it look natural. Okay. I could put this into like a high ponytail and I could make it look really good. The problem is, because this topper depends on front clips for security, it's going to, the higher I go with my updo, it's going to pull on these clips and it's going to start pulling on my bio hair, and it's just not very comfortable. So you're just adding more weight to the top and just kind of pulling on that throughout the day. I could do it for maybe a couple of hours, but I wouldn't want to wear a high ponytail like this all day long unless it was like once in a blue moon. Okay. Definitely not every day. If you did that every day, I promise you will get traction alopecia. So don't do that. If you want to wear a ponytail every single day, there are other options. Like I said, I'll show you a high updo with a glued down lace front here at the end. And that is a game changer. When I discovered that I could glue down a topper and wear an updo all day very comfortably, I was over the moon. Okay. Cause I've never had a cute ponytail and I just want to wear my hair like this every single day. And a glued down lace front is the way to do that. But if you're going to a wedding and you're willing to deal with it, there are a few things you can do. Oh shoot, I don't have it. Okay, well, I don't have it in here, of course not. But if you can get some kind of a teasing powder, texture powder. I have some in my Etsy shop called gripping powder. It's basically just like, it's usually a white little powder that you kind of shake on your, and I would put it on my bio hair. And what it does is it gives your hair a ton of grip. In a pinch, you can use dry shampoo, but it's not going to work as well. But that's kind of the idea, is it just gives your hair texture and grip, especially if you have thin, fine hair that just everything slides right through. You want to put just a little tiny bit of that powder exactly where the clips are going to go. And I promise you it will hold so much better, and it won't be pulling quite as much because it's not going to be slipping around. So the more secure you can get it, the more comfortable it will be. None really, but it will be warm in Georgia. Okay, I have an idea for you then. Do you have the upgrade Claire so I could see that? I do, but the one I have, they have discontinued. So I can show it to you, but it is incredibly old and mine is discontinued. So the one they have, I think, is smaller. I might have to get a lace one later when I know for sure the color will match for sure. Lace for Updo. Yes, that's the way to do it. Like once you're sold that you want to do toppers and you want to have a lace or you want to have an Updo option, I love having a lace front dedicated for Updos. I don't have to restyle it all the time. I can just be like, oh, I'm going to wear my hair up. I'm going to wear this one. Okay. Okay. So for the Courtney, I would put a little gripping powder in my bio hair right where I'm going to clip it in, where the clips go. Okay. You might also want to maybe sew in like a comb. You can sew in combs and clips. I would only do that I would not do that on any kind of lace topper though. So keep that in mind. But for a mono top you could, or silk or the skin tops. But a comb here in the front with some gripping powder would also keep it a little bit more secure. But another thing you can do is just focus on a lower style. So, well, I don't have all of my styling things, so I'm not going to be able to do a really cute thing, but I'll just give you an idea. Keeping the weight of the hair a little bit lower on your head is going to it's going to be more comfortable. So you could do anything like, if you really wanted it kind of like off your neck, a low ponytail is a good option. There are so many cute ones. In fact, go check out my YouTube. Last year I did like 3 updos for like wedding styles, and they're so cute and they're comfortable, but they're very basic. Like you could literally just do like a low ponytail, or you could do like a little topsy tail where you flip it like this. So I don't know. There's a million things you could do. Okay. But I'm just thinking of ways to like switch it up, make it special. I'm using like literally whatever I have here, but that's one. So something really low on your head. Another way is to use clips, or like a chignon would be really pretty if you could, especially if you have somebody to do your hair. Unless you're just good at hair, but one of those like French twists kind of, I can't do this, but you kind of get the idea, right? Something like this, where they have like those, you could use like a French pin to stick in here, or if you can find like a pretty clip or something. I would need a bigger one. This one's not big enough, but I have an imagination right now. I hope you understand what I'm saying, okay? I can't do my own, but we'll have help. Okay, good. So if you have help, just make sure they know that you're wearing a topper. A lot of bridal hairstylists are super used to like toppers, extensions, like they know how to work with them. But something that is lower on your head, or just kind of closer to your head instead of like a full-blown like high ponytail, is going to add less weight and it's going to be more comfortable. Okay. Is this a 14 or 16? This is 16 inches. So like I said, it actually sits, let's measure it. I know you guys believe me, but if you measure from a middle part, which mine has like a right part, but I'm just going to kind of guess where the middle is. And when you measure to the tips, it's actually 18 inches. So just keep that in mind. It usually sits longer on you than what the ad says. I might have to get, oh yeah, we already did that one. Okay. Okay, well, we are rocking and rolling, you guys. I'm going to say my time right now is 8:20. So I'm going to say at like 8:40, I will start a gluing tutorial and then show you an updo with a glued down lace front, because that's where it gets really fun. But this is the Upgrade Courtney. Like I said, it's just more hair than the Airy Elegance, but the Airy Elegance would be a good alternate if you're looking for something with a little bit less density. I think you'll like the Airy Elegance. Maybe, do you guys want to see my new hair tool? Like, raise your hand in the comments if you struggle with styling, because I think I found something that might be really helpful for people. Have you guys seen these thermal brushes? I'm going to heat it up. This is a fun tool. I'm going to let it heat up and then I'll show you how you can style your hair with it. But if you have a hard time with curling irons, because I know some people really struggle with like the coordination of how to use a curling iron, these thermal brushes might be a really good option. So I'm gonna let that heat up and I'm gonna pick a topper to style with it. I also have the Savannah, if anybody wants to see that. I don't have it styled very well. I have too many of these to wear regularly, so sometimes some of them get a little bit forgotten. But I wore the Savannah to death when it first came out. So I kind of let this one air dry also. It's the Burmese, so it's pretty wavy. So the Savannah is just like a really large silk top. So it's even bigger than the Vian topper. It's 9 by 9 inches. And it also has a higher density, and the Burmese hair and the cap itself is a little thicker. So if you want a good amount of hair, like if you like a lot of body, or again, for updos, sometimes I prefer to have more hair for my updo, because you can do a lot more. You have more versatility when it comes to updos if you have more hair. And like if you want to do braids or anything like really fun, having more hair is probably going to work in your favor. If you're trying to do like a really intricate updo with like the Airy Elegance, I mean, you could do like a ponytail or like a simple kind of updo, but if you want like braids and like intricate things, there's probably not enough hair to do a lot with, if that makes sense. So this one, I'm going to wiggle that comb in. And this one does sit very low on my head. So again, you who are looking for a larger cap, this is another large option. And it does sit, again, pretty close to my ears. So I love this one. I had a lot of layers cut into, and that's the other thing. If you have more hair to work with, you can cut more layers into it. The Airy Elegance, I have layers in the front, but I don't really have hardly any layers in the back because the density is so low. I wanted it to cover my hair. I don't want to like see too much of my hair poking out, my bio hair. But this one you can get away with a lot more layers, it's just more versatile because it has so much hair. But see how cute? I've got like all these shorter layers. So right now when it's wavy, it just has such a pretty shape. And then if I blow it out and I want to just style it with curls or waves or whatever, with like a curling iron, I can do that with all these fun layers. I'm so unsure on what color to get. Is there some salon here in Utah to try the toppers on? Laurie, there's not. I do let my consult clients, when they come in, try them on, but Uniwigs is really good at helping you color match as well. And keep in mind that you can color any of these darker. A stylist can color them darker. You don't want to bleach them, so you don't want to go lighter. That's why I always tell everybody to start on the lighter side. So if you're unsure about what color, find something that has the lighter tone that you want, and then just know that you can go to a stylist and they can darken around that lighter color. So it's just like a reverse balayage where you can keep like the lighter colors and then add the dark colors around it. And I promise you that's a super common customization with toppers and wigs. When you were showed your toppers in the beginning, I saw a shoulder length blonde one with some layers. Have you shown that one yet? Looked like it would sit around the collarbone from what I saw. I really only have one blonde, but I didn't put that one on. This is, if you're looking at colors, this is another Upgrade Courtney, but this is the Vanilla Butter Blonde. So in case anybody's wondering about blonde shades, because I know I haven't really shown any because I wear more brown shades, this is a Vanilla Butter Blonde, but I don't have any blondes. So I wonder if you're talking about like the Moose Brown, but that's the one I have on also. This is also Moose Brown. They're going to vary from topper to topper, but this one has more blonde in the front. So is that the one you're talking about maybe? Love that one, but like Vian too, they are both silk. Do you like one better? Is one more versatile in your opinion? This one, the Savannah has more hair on it. So when you talk about versatility, and it also can air dry wavy. So as far as versatility, the Savannah probably is more versatile because it has that wavy texture that you can wear wavy or you can smooth it out. It also has more hair on it, so you can get away with a lot of layers. It's just got quite a bit more hair than the Vian. But if you like the style of the Vian, which let me just put that one back on. If you like, maybe that's the color you were thinking of, the blonde one. The Vian's a little lighter. So let me put that one on. That one is going to air dry straight. It's easier to style, but I wouldn't say it's as versatile. So I hope that helps. Can you tell me how to find you on YouTube? You can just search my name. It's Lacie Rodriguez. My handle on YouTube is just at Lacie Rodriguez, but Lacie with an IE. Oh, goodness. Please don't start coughing. Sorry. I swear my body wants to punk me every time I go live. It's so annoying. It just starts coughing. Where did the Vian go? Sorry, guys. Things get lost on this rack. Here it is. Okay. It wasn't butter blonde. It was much shorter and a little darker. It could have been long and I just couldn't see it. Maybe it was this one. So this is the Vian. Somebody else was asking about this a little earlier and I said I'd go back to it. So it has some shorter layers in the front. So I wonder if that's what you were seeing. This one? It is longer though. Can the darker roots be lightened? They cannot. You can add a darker root though to a lighter color, but if the roots are too dark, you're going to be stuck with them. So I would go with a lighter option. I hope this is the one you were thinking of. Spicy anchovy. For short hair, is it better to stick with a shorter topper too? So when it comes to length, this is where it gets tricky. I mentioned earlier that the Vian topper you can add length with really easily. And you can, unless your hair is really short. So once your hair gets to about shoulder length, it can blend in pretty well with a longer topper as long as that longer topper has a good amount of hair. If your hair is shorter, more like shoulder or like chin length, you're probably going to see those short pieces like poking out and it's going to look a little bit unnatural. So it's harder to blend it with a longer topper when your hair's short like this. Again, once it gets to like little past shoulder length, it lies better against, like you can kind of fake it as a layer here in the front. And then once it gets a little bit longer, then it blends really well with a longer length. So just keep that in mind. In fact, I tell people all the time, if consult clients, when they have shorter hair, but they want to wear it longer, I usually tell them to start with a piece that like you can get away with, where you might want to buy it a little bit longer than your bio hair and then try to let your bio hair grow out. And then sometimes your bio hair will grow past it and you can fake your bio hair as the longer layer. And then once your bio hair gets down to your shoulders, then switch it out for a longer topper. So there's kind of like that weird transition. The other thing you can do is pair a topper with some extensions. And I know that sounds like a pain, but I did that for a while because my hair was always short, like chin length, but I really wanted to wear it longer. But I had to wait for my hair to grow out and I had a hard time because my topper was like this short. And then when my hair was growing out, it was hanging out the bottom and it just didn't look good. So I ended up getting a halo extension and I would wear that with my topper sometimes. And it just helped blend out the different weird lengths. And I only had to do that for a few months probably while my hair grew out and then it was good. So That's another option. Yes, they come layered. So, well, in the front anyway, they have face framing layers, and that really is key to getting it to look really natural. Does Savannah come layered? Correct me if I'm wrong, Uniwigs, but I think all the toppers come with face framing layers. That Savannah, though, that I have, most of my toppers I still have cut once I get them, even if they have face framing layers included. And that Savannah topper I had heavily layered. My stylist layered that for me. Which does your mom wear? My mom wears the Courtney in Moose Brown, the mono top that we did the little updos with. That's the one she wears. Do you cut this? Oh, Vian, or leave it as it is? I have not cut this one. So I've just left this as it is. I washed it and styled it, but I have not cut it or colored it. So this is really the way it came. Is there a topper that I can wear with my naturally curly hair, or can they be permed? So Sassy T, I would, if it's curlier than this, remember this is the way the Burmese hair air dries. If it's curlier than this, I would talk to Uniwigs. Sometimes I've known them to do perms on some of their toppers, but I would talk to them first before you have a stylist perm it, because sometimes the way they perm them, they use a different process. So I would talk to them. But yes, toppers, it's very common to perm them. Normally, though, you have to start with the right hair beforehand. Yes, all our toppers come with pre-cut layers now. Thank you, Uniwigs. So yes, they should come with the face framing layers already cut in, but you can always go in and add more layers if you want. One thing you want to be careful of, this is a really common mistake when it comes to customization and cutting. So listen up. It is very easy to over thin a topper. And I have heard of stylists making this mistake often. So if you have a stylist, and especially if they're not really experienced with toppers, you want to make sure that they go very slow if they are thinning a topper. So sometimes they call it debulking or thinning. Just keep in mind that if a topper feels like it's too much hair, sometimes you can fix that just by styling it. Sometimes it's really just a matter of using the right products and getting it more sleek and smoothed out, and that will feel like less hair and look like less hair than something that's really frizzy and like fluffy. If you are adamant that you want it thinned out, just remember you really cannot thin it from the crown. You can only thin through the ends. And what ends up happening sometimes is if stylists continue to try to thin it and they're just cutting out more and more hair, you'll end up with a lot of poof up here and really stringy ends. So be very careful when they thin it or when they layer it. You just want to go very slow, really like make sure thinning can be nice and debulking is nice because it will give it a little bit more movement, but it's really easy to overdo it. So keep that in mind and make sure your stylist is cautious. The one I have on, this is the color Champagne Glow Brown. So this is one of those new colors in the Vian topper. Are there going to be darker shades on Vian anytime soon, Uniwigs? I do not know the answer to that, so hopefully they will answer. Yes, so there's no black currently in this one. They only have 4 shades, and they've made them 2 ashy ones, 2 warm ones, so that they are a good base to really get any kind of color that you need. So they can all be colored darker. Just keep that in mind. I know that it feels more convenient for them to have your right color, but it can be colored to match. Can you compare this color with Moose Brown? What a great question. Yes, let's try. This is the Moose Brown, and this is the Champagne Glow Brown. They're very close, but this is a little lighter. But I'd say the tone is like almost, I don't know, the highlights in the Vian, in the Champagne Glow Brown, I mean, they are not quite as yellow. The highlights are a little bit ashier, more neutral, I guess. And these are very warm in the Moose Brown. So these are more of like a golden highlight, and these are just more beigey. I hope that made sense. But similar, this is just a lighter shade for sure. Can you wear a topper with no front hairline to blend? Karen, I have seen people do it, so it's really a personal preference. I personally think most toppers need to have even just like a little bit of bio hair coming out the front. And if you don't have anything, any bio hair, that's when you would probably want to do a lace front. And that's where it can recreate a hairline for you. Like this, what is this one called? Airy Elegance, the lace front Airy Elegance. That's what they're meant for. The lace front is to recreate that hairline for you. So, but I have seen people wear like a silk top. Let me show you what it looks like. They just wear it in front of their hairline. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like a purist, but if you had bangs, you wouldn't notice, it would be fine. But if you don't have bangs and you try to wear it in front, you can, you're just not going to get any of those really natural baby hairs. And so, I don't know, people get away with it. So it's up to you. It's really not bad, but I just really like having those really natural hairs coming out. So up to you. How do you determine which topper you can wear with a middle part versus side? Pretty much all these toppers you can wear with a middle part or a side part. So as long as the hand-tied area, you can look at pictures, you can read the listing on the website, but this is the hand-tied area. Hold on. All of this area is hand-tied versus the wefting. This is sewn on in strips. You cannot part it where the wefting is because you're going to see the fabric. It's not going to look natural. All the hand-tied area though, the hair it can move in any direction. So all you'd have to do is wet this down a little bit and move the part and then blow dry it into place. So that's how you change the part on a topper. It's super easy, but almost all of the ones I've showed you today, you can part middle, side, left, right, wherever you want to do it. And one trick I will show you, let's see if we can, here we go. I have this brand new one. This is an Aura topper. This is the light moose brown. Okay, this is a good, I can show you what this looks like out of the box because I haven't done anything with this. Long story, but this was supposed to be my brother's. He wanted a topper and then he just kind of like flaked out on me. Anyway, this is the light moose brown in the Aura topper. But let me show you. This is like right out of the box. So see how like straight and sleek it comes? I want to show you how this one came with like a little bit of a left part. So let me try to fix that. But I'm going to show you how to really fix the part to look more natural than when it comes straight from the factory. And yes, you can use a curling iron on this. Oh, I forgot I heated up my brush to show you guys. When you have a part line that is really harsh like this, where it's extremely straight and just like too perfect, and then you kind of like are seeing this little spot right here, and it's just like not looking really super great. Let me show you how I would fix that real quick, okay? I'm gonna run out of time and I really wanted to show you a couple of things. So the best thing you can do is repart it. I'm gonna show you how I'll do that. But also, instead of doing this really straight part, you really want to, it helps to come in at like an angle and kind of mess up the part. So if you come in at an angle, I'm gonna show you how much more natural that looks, okay? And a perfect example of this, somebody said, do you hate it and then love it? And yes, the Vian topper, when I first got it, I really struggled with blending it because it just had this really perfect part and it just did not look natural. So what I always do, fresh out of the box, as long as I know I'm going to keep it, is I will just mess up the part a little bit. So let me show you real quick how I do that. And then I will do the tutorial, the gluing tutorial. Can I send in a swatch of my bio hair to Uniwigs to get more of an accurate color match for a topper? I don't know how much they do that, but I promise you, I know that you feel like you have to have like a perfect color match. I promise you don't. Have you seen all the different colors I put on tonight? As long as and I haven't had any of these colored. These are all straight from Uniwigs. They're 3, I've put on 4 different colors, and I promise you, you can almost always make them work. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of wet this really quick. And I'm just gonna kind of rough up the part a little bit with a hairdryer. So I like to just like blow dry it in different directions. Get a little bit more lift at the root. I want to get rid of that like perfect line, you know? And when you're styling hair, remember that when it's wet, or sorry, when it's hot and wet, it's moldable. So you can like play around with it. Once it's cooled, once it's dry and cooled, the style is kind of set. So I just literally do this until I mess it up. And then while it's kind of hot, I will kind of get a part in here. But remember, I don't want it perfect. So that looks pretty good. See how it kind of like does this instead of going straight down? I think that looks more natural. Also, I'm going to style right here. I hope you guys can hear me over the hairdryer. I'm sorry if I have my mic on because I'm going to wet right here because this is a really crucial part. If you blow dry all of this back, it's going to expose the rim of the topper. So you really want to blow dry just this part slightly forward, just the roots, so that you make sure that the hair is sandwiching the cap and it's going to blend a lot better. Okay. Okay, so they say that you can send in a hair sample if you want. That's awesome that they offer that service. So they are really good at helping you color match. Okay, let's try this back on. I moved the part a little, messed it up, got a little bit more volume at the roots. So bare minimum, this is what I would do out of the box, as long as I know I'm keeping it. If you're gonna return it, you don't wanna mess around with it, right? You don't wanna void your return policy. But now let's try this and see if it looks more natural. But I promise you, messing up that part and kind of going at like an angle instead of going straight back, I feel like makes a huge difference in how natural the blend looks. And I hate this because it's still kind of a left part and my hair hates to part to the left. But hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying here. The color of this one is called light moose brown. Okay. Now I could still play with this a little bit. If it's too poofy, just get some heat on it, blow dry it down. I want to show you really quick. I'm like running out of time, but I want to show you a little blending trick. If you have hair fibers, you can blend this so much better. See how like this is just not really meshing? I'm going to take a little bit of hair fibers. And these are in medium brown, I believe, from Uniwigs, but I'm going to get as much lift in my hair as I can. And I'm going to like do a little poof, but going this way. Don't go down, go kind of just right at the root from the side. I just do a couple little poofs and moving my hand the whole time because I don't want to get like a harsh and patchy spot there. And again, just kind of playing around with like how you line it up, how close to your hairline you get, how far away. But hopefully you can see that that looks a lot better. And the more I play with this, I could definitely give this more of a style and it would look really nice. And last thing I'm going to show you really quickly is this. And then I'm going to do the glue tutorial and a cute updo. So these are so nice. It's hot, okay, but not with hot air. It's like a curling iron. This is like hot metal. And I'm going to wrap the hair around it like this and then literally just twist it. And it will give you like a similar look like a curling iron would. So you can get these in different sizes. Let me try that again though. What's nice about the brush option is that it keeps the hair smooth as you're twisting it. That's going to give you a much better curl than if you're just like clamping a bunch of crossed over hairs into a curling iron. Okay, you see that? It was curling around my face. Now I'm like curling it away. Thank you so much for showing how to naturalize an unnatural looking part. You're welcome. I know, have some patience here because doing this all in like a set environment live doesn't always go like perfectly as planned, but just know that behind the scenes, I am messing with these things like you wouldn't believe until I get them to look natural, okay? So that's normal. I just want you to know. Anyway, so if you struggle with a curling iron, this can be a really nice tool. I'm still kind of practicing how I use this. I don't normally style a topper on my head. This is why I'm so uncoordinated doing this. I like to style it on the mannequin head because as I'm pulling this, I have to like hold my topper down or it's going to pull on my bio hair. But this is just like a cool little tool if you don't love curling irons. You feel me? I have one like that too. It does a great job at smoothing my Burmese toppers. Yes, you guys, don't be afraid of heat. You need heat to smooth things out. This one's already super smooth, but if I wanted to smooth out some of these Burmese pieces, this would be a glorious little tool to do that with. You can do like away from the face kind of curls. You could wrap it and just smooth it like this, like you're brushing it. But the heat from the iron is going to smooth it out a lot better than just brushing it, okay? What brand is that? This is from Wavy Talk. So this one comes with removable ends, but this is the thermal brush end that I use. Okay, should we do a gluing tutorial? You guys can tell me if you're over it, but I love doing the gluing tutorials at the end because I just think that it's super handy and to know how to do this and also know that it just takes some practice. But I'm normally at the point now where I can do it in about 10 minutes. So let's try, shall we? First thing, my topper, I always like to line up my parts, especially on a lace topper because it's going to show my skin, my scalp through the middle. It's going to look more natural if it's sitting on top of my scalp instead of my hair, if that makes sense. And you want to make sure that you wash your hairline. I use micellar water because I have like sweat and makeup. You want your skin to be really clean where the glue is going to stick. So you guys are going to see how much makeup I have on. It's probably gross. But I'm just going to go right here along my hairline. I'm only going to be gluing it like right here, okay? So I want to make sure it's very clean. And it also kind of helps to get your bio hair out of the way because that is one of my biggest complaints. And let me show you when I like to use like a wax stick or something on my bio hair before I glue it because it just really helps. In fact, I'm going to pull my hair back so it's out of the way. And then I'll let it all down. But I don't want my baby hairs poking out. See these guys? They're just going to get in my way and it's annoying. So I'm going to use a little bit of wax to get them all along my hairline, just like out of the way. I also do this when I wear wigs, especially like if I'm going to wear it all day. That's how I prep for it because it just keeps it out of the way. Okay? But you don't want any of that wax on your skin, just your hair. Okay, now when it comes to wax, glue, I love the Bolt Hold Liquid Gold. This is my favorite. I feel like it is the easiest to apply that I found and it lasts most of the day, but then it's easy to get off at night. So I'm going to put a little bit on the end of this Q-tip. Oh wait, I better find my topper first. Hold on. Where is it? Here. Remember this one already has glue on it, so You can also clean that off with some micellar water. Like if you've got residue on there like I do. Just be careful. You don't want to rub a lot on the lace because, like I said, it is fragile. It's delicate. The knots are delicate where the hair is sewn on. So don't be too rough with it. I would never like scrub it like this, just dabbing. And that should clean off the glue. Or makeup. If you have makeup on your lace, that'll make it more visible. So you want to make sure it's clean. I'm going to twist this Q-tip and then put a little bit of glue on it. And I mean a little bit. It's easy to overdo this. So just start really small. Hello, oh, it's right here. You can use any kind of rat tail comb, but I love this like flat metal comb. It works so well. I just got this on Amazon. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit, just a little dab right here. And this will depend where you put this, depends on how low you want your hairline. I really don't wanna lower my hairline because it just looks unnatural on me. So I wanna wear it, I wanna glue it like right at my hairline, right in front of my hairline, just barely. And so I'm gonna stick it on right here. You wanna make sure it's centered. Oops. And then I use the end of the comb to just like hold it there. I kind of push it down a little bit. I don't have anything clipped in. I'm just gluing this first. Now, if you get glue in the hair and whatever, just leave it and we will fix it at the end. And I apologize for this really janky nail. I broke it so bad that it was bleeding today. So sorry about that. Okay. So that's mostly stuck, but just be sure. Use a little air. Oh. And you can, it doesn't have to be hot. Just want to make sure that it's drying. Okay, now let's move on. So I did the middle section. Now I'm going to do one of the side sections. And I know I'm going to look like crazy. So wait for it. Okay, trust the process here. Again, we're talking like minimal glue here. You can always add more, but if you get too much, it's just going to be a mess. You want to make sure you don't have the topper hair stuck under this lace. But I'm just going to run this glue kind of along my hairline. And you really want to follow the curvature of your head with the cap. And you'll know what I mean when you try this. Some caps will curve more than others. But you don't want to be pulling on the lace or it will pucker. You just want to be like gently setting it down naturally where it kind of follows the curvature of your head. Don't stretch it. If you stretch it, it will start to pucker and you'll see it. It'll look really bad. Let's see. Such a helpful tutorial. Good. Will the pink loops show? You guys, these pink loops, they won't show. And those are that's my fault. Okay. I sewed those stupid pink loops on because I didn't have brown ribbon. So they don't come like that. That's me. Sorry. But they won't show anyway because they're underneath the cap. It's just while I'm trying to get the placement here. Oh no. Hold on. That will not do. I just saw as I bent down that I have a bunch of bio hair poking out. I thought that was the topper hair. It's not. Let's try that again, okay? See, this is what I'm talking about. These get in your way, and then it's just a nightmare. So we don't want them in our way. Be gone. Let's try this again. And I've tried tape, for the record. There is like double-sided wig tape. If you have a receding hairline, you could probably get away with tape, but I have gotten tape stuck in my hair way too many times that it is just not worth it to me anymore. So I just stick with glue. It's easier to remove, and I feel like it actually works better because you can get all the little edges of this lace completely like melted into your skin. When you use tape, it's harder to get all those edges. when tie up in a ponytail, is it better to glue it down? I believe yes. I just think that it's more comfortable because it holds the topper in place instead of the clips. So you can get away with like doing an updo, and it's just way more comfortable. Sorry, I'm trying to fast track this now, you guys. So like I've asked for this whole live, just, you know, be a little patient with me, give me a little grace and trust the process. This might not be my best glue job, but could have been my fastest. Got hair poking out everywhere. What is going on, dude? I think I'm going too fast. So you really do want to make sure that one section is dry before you move on to the other. And this is moving a lot, so I'm going to clip it in. And I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm just going to, I've got plenty of glue on there. I really don't want to put any more glue. And it's sort of like eyelash glue. If you've ever glued on false lashes, you do kind of have to like let it get a little tacky. So I'm just pushing down and kind of out to the sides. And sometimes you won't get the very edges to glue down, and that's okay. I just won't pull. I'll show you when I pull it up. Can you show me the one with the curls in it again? Talking about this one? This one, I mean, any of the Burmese toppers will air dry kind of curly like this, kind of wavy. But this one is the breeze topper. So anything with Burmese hair. Am I scaring everybody away from using glue? Tell me how confident you are to use glue. Okay. Okay, you can see though that it sits much flatter, right? Okay, I'm gonna try to blow dry it again. When you blow dry, it's better to blow dry down. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for just a minute before I clean it up and fix it, okay? Let my hair down. Because if you rush the glue, it will come unstuck. Where's my brush? Oh. All right. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. Again, you're gonna take Q-tip. Now, this is water-soluble glue, so if you get it wet, it will come unstuck. But what you wanna do is just get around the lace. If there's any, remember I told you, some of this, it might not stick all the way across, but as long as it's sticking here in the middle, like, you're gonna be fine. You wanna kind of unstick some of these little hairs that are stuck, and if they're too close to the lace and you're afraid it's gonna get the lace unstuck, what I do is take a fine-tooth comb and I just kind of comb these that are stuck forward. And then once I comb them forward and they're unstuck, then I can start kind of combing them up and back. Now this looks like a very amateur job here, okay? I also can't see myself very well in my phone. Oh boy. Just trust. But if you need to kind of like go over the edges with a little bit of water, you can. I have a lot of my bio hair coming out of here for some reason. And again, if you're stressed, get bangs cut into it. I told somebody I'd show you the Claire, and that's what I did is I had bangs cut into the Claire. and I wore that thing up all the time, and I have no idea what the glue job looked like underneath it, and it was none of my business. This is a terrible glue job, you guys. Please don't take this at face value. Has anybody been on when I've done a good job with the glue? Okay, normally these would not be stuck. If I unstick it, it's just gonna come unglued. But we're running out of time and I wanna show you an updo. So imagine that this looks good. I promise it can. Trust me that it can, okay? This is so real. I'm so grateful you were giving the glue tutorial, and your tutorials are the best I've ever seen. You don't know how good that's making me feel right now, because this is maybe the worst glue job I've ever done in my lifetime. It's so embarrassing. So thank you for saying that. But I promise you, it can look really natural. It's not looking super natural right now, but just trust me, okay? I would not lead you guys astray. However, let's say your glue job isn't great. Just pull down some hair here in the front, hide as much of your hairline as you can, pull it up, and like, voila. You know, this super cute ponytail. When I say I can't feel the clips at all, I mean it. So again, if I was really in a hurry and stressed, I would probably just like try to style this over the hairline as much as I could. And I think I could get away with it, okay? This is the Airy Elegance lace front topper in the color Moose Brown. My favorite host. Oh my gosh, Warm Basil, you're making me feel so good. Even with like the worst glue job. You've done a great job on the glue. You guys are so sweet. Thanks for being so gracious with me. Is that exactly what you're looking for? Yes, it's wonderful. And it is like my favorite little ponytail topper. It's so lightweight and so comfy. So again, one more trick before we end here. You just want to make sure that you kind of keep this loose. Like my hair is really kind of thin on the sides. So as long as I keep this topper a little bit kind of loose around everything, then I don't end up seeing any holes or any scalp, and I'm good. If I did see any like little scalp areas, I would probably just spray them with a little bit of fibers and be good. Thank you. It looks amazing. I have the Evelyn and want more coverage. Oh, perfect. This is a great one. We talked about earlier how these are like a really great kind of mid-universal range. Oh, thank you so much, Suzette. You guys are so lovely. Thanks for being so patient with me. To get this off, all you have to do literally is just kind of get a wet wash rag and it will dissolve the glue and it'll come right off. So it's super easy. You guys were such a lovely group tonight. Thank you for being here, being patient. And if you have any questions, Uniwigs is so great at answering them. They do all kinds of custom orders. They can help you color match and take advantage of their Mother's Day sale. So happy Mother's Day to all of you women, whether you have your own children or not. We're all mothers. So love you all. Have a great night.